Hello again guys. In today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at my backpacking quilt from As Tucas. So I'll get straight into the details of the quilt. This particular version is the As Tucas Sestrals blanket. This is a very versatile piece of backpacking gear. It can be used like this as a full-on blanket, but you also have the option to make it more like a conventional sleeping bag by clipping it together and creating a foot box. Like so. And then simply pull on this cord, lock it in place with this little toggle, and now you have a complete foot box for your quilt for when it gets a little bit chilly. Another great feature that this blanket has is when it's fully opened, use it as like a poncho to wrap around you and keep you warm while sat around camp. So this model, the Sestrals blanket, has now been superseded by the Sestrals Poncho, which is even more versatile and as part of an integrated insulation system. The quilt can be custom made to fit your size. I've got the medium, but you can get them in wide fittings and various different lengths. This particular blanket weighs in at 655 grams and it's insulated with Climashield Apex 200, which is a comfort rating of -5 Celsius. Climashield Apex is one of the toughest synthetic insulations. It's made with a continuous filament, therefore it's incredibly strong. In fact, I've even seen videos where people are playing tug of war with this material. Most other synthetic insulations are like made up of tiny little filaments that are all bonded together, so they tear apart really easily. This stuff is incredibly tough and it also retains its loft much better than other synthetic insulations. So the outer material is made by Swiss company Schoeller. It's extremely durable and breathable, and it has an Ecorepel coating, which means it's very resistant to water and dirt. I'm not quite sure how it works, but if you go on the Schoeller website, which I'll drop a link down below, it's based on the same principles of how like a duck's feathers don't get wet when it's in water. As Tucas equipment is tested and manufactured in the Pyrenees, and you can get these in various different ratings of insulation from Apex 100 all the way to Apex 200, depending on whether you want a summer quilt or more of a winter quilt. So the main reason for me getting this particular quilt is because of the synthetic insulation. In the UK, we get quite humid conditions, so we get a lot of condensation, a lot of moisture in tents, and I found that with my down quilt that after a few days the down starts to lose its loft a little bit and it's not as warm. Whereas synthetic insulation, even when it's wet, it retains its insulation properties. But this is quick drying, it's water repellent, so it's perfect for UK conditions. The blanket also has little clips here, so you can fully enclose it, so it is more like a sleeping bag. So As Tucas currently make other formats of this blanket. They make the Sestrals Quilt, which has got a fully sewn in foot box, which means you can't open it up to the full-size blanket like this one. They also make the Sestrals Poncho, which has now superseded this blanket, and that's got even more versatility than this bit of kit, unbelievably. It can be worn fully as a coat for when it gets really cold, so it's very multifunctional. So your blanket or quilt will also come supplied with a cotton storage bag. Here's all the labels that come attached. As you can see, they're using top quality materials, Climashield, the Ecorepel Schoeller material. Give it a shake. And this is how you want to store your quilt when you're not using it. You don't want to store any of your sleeping bags, quilts in a compressed form. I've only used this quilt a few times so far, so it's not a full review, but early impressions are it's really good quality. The Schoeller material is really soft on your skin. The stitching is spot on, so it's really well manufactured. And the customer service from As Tucas is first class. If you've got any issues, questions, or you just want to know more about it, send them a message on the website or Facebook, and they'll get back to you straight away. I've forgotten to bring my compression sack with me, but these Climashield synthetic quilts, they do pack down incredibly small. It's not quite as compressible as a down bag, but you can see just by squashing down on it that it will go really small. It can actually go smaller than that. But the material lofts straight back up again, which is really impressive. So if you've seen the thumbnail, I've said that this is more than just a quilt. So what I mean by that is that this is much more versatile than just a regular sleeping bag. So this blanket and the poncho can be worn as an item of clothing. You can't do that with many sleeping bags, can you? Because it can be opened fully, it means that you can use it all year round. So when it's warmer, you can stick a leg out if you want, stick your arms out, and then when the winter months come, you can clip it up and now you've got a more conventional sleeping bag. You can just fully seal the end to stop any drafts. You can see the loft there already. I would recommend getting the wide version if you want to be going down to really low temperatures. That way you can use this as a modular system and put another sleeping bag, perhaps something down insulated inside, and then you can go down to some really low temperatures, but you've also got the added security of not getting your down sleeping bag wet. As the Ecorepel coating on these quilts will just let the condensation run off. So finally I'll talk about the price. This particular one was €229, which is not cheap for a sleeping bag or a quilt. However, it's definitely competitive with say a Rab down bag, and it's much cheaper than importing something from Enlightened Equipment in America, where you're going to be paying a few $100s plus all of the import taxes and fees from Royal Mail, etc. So that's about it for my first impressions review. As you say, I've used this quilt just a few times. So far I'm really happy with it. I've not tried it down to temperatures below freezing yet, so that will be the proof and the pudding for me. But I have tried it on multi-day trips where I've had condensation and I've had no issues at all with this getting wet. I did have moisture on the outside, just wiped off and then it dried instantly, so really impressed with that. I will keep you posted with updates because this is going to be the quilt that I use all year round. I'll leave some links in the description below for where you can find out more information about As Tucas products, and I'll also put links into the Schoeller and Climashield websites where you can find out some more about the technology of why their materials are so good. So if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and maybe even give it a share to your friends who may be interested in looking at synthetic insulation. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.